The word of the week is failure. Failure. A word which so many of us don't want to even talk about or even think about it. Failure has such a stigma attached to in our society that the word failure brings up a lot of negative feelings and emotions. Now, what exactly is a failure? Something we attempted at and were not successful. Many of us don't want to even talk about our failures, be it in our business, our career, family life, or even our personal life. The problem here is that when our minds deem something to be a failure, they attach all the negative feelings and associations with it. And this is the time when we don't want to think about it and try to shut it out of our lives because it's a hurtful experience. So, in logical terms, it does make sense. Why would you want to talk about your failures or think about them? But what it means is that we have not learned anything from this experience if we shut it out. Whatever happens should become a learning lesson so we don't make the same mistake again. See, understand in life, you are presented with challenges. And until you learn the challenge or the lesson and move on, you will be presented with a similar challenge again in your life. Maybe in a different form, but it will be there. And if you have not learned from your first sort of failure or mistake, then you are bound to make a similar mistake or a failure would happen again. See, my mentor and my guru, Dr. John Maxwell, has aptly said in his book, Failing Forward, the difference between average people and achieving people is their perception of and response to failure. Friends, learn to make failure your friend instead of your enemy. Kyle Rote Jr. states, there is no doubt in my mind that there are many ways to be a winner, but there is really only one way to be a loser, and that is to fail and not look beyond the failure. Most of the very successful people are the ones who have failed more than others. If you take a look at the lives of the people who you deem very successful, you will find when you read their biography or you talk to them that they have failed many times in their life. But what happened is that they learned their lessons and they built upon their failures to the point where they reached the successes which we all call as they are lucky. So if you let failure lead you down, then what will happen is that you will not even venture the same thing again. Because now you're afraid, you're scared. Because you don't want to endure another failure. Many people, what happens is, even before they start any project, just the thought of failure doesn't let them go and even approach the new project because they're so scared. The question you need to ask yourself, not the question which you are asking, what happens if I fail? The question you need to ask is, what happens if I succeed? Just that thought, just that question is going to change the whole trajectory. Your mind will start thinking differently. Your dreams will start getting fulfilled. You will move to a different direction and a different level in your life. Just the question makes sense. Now, let's take an example. Thomas Edison is said to have failed over 10,000 times before he perfected the light bulb. When he was asked, his response was he found almost 10,000 ways as to how light bulb doesn't work. What a beautiful way to look at things. Think about it. If Edison would have been afraid of failure, where would we have been without electricity? So, dear friends, don't fear failure or just the thought that you may fail. Take an action toward realizing your dreams. Face your fears and go forward and do it. If a failure does happen, learn from it. When you get up, you should be many steps ahead. Failure does become a failure when you don't learn from it. That is the biggest problem. Make failures a ladder to your success. So, are you ready to change the definition of failure in your life and achieve the dreams that you have always wanted? I sincerely hope so. Thank you.